You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 198.2.1, our basketball report from the Frankton Sectional Semifinals, co-hosted by Michelle Garmon of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader, and Elwood head coach and athletic director Ryan Vanskyock. Michelle and Ryan and I were joined by Tipton head coach Cliff Hawkins and seniors Brady Carpenter and Sam Quigley, Lapel head coach Kevin Cherry, and Frankton's Brent Brobston and Brady Carmack. Sorry about any sound issues. We had a cable come loose and lost one of our microphones, so I had to go to the lapel mics for the rest of the night. And it was loud in the gym, so sorry for any sound issues. You may have to be turning up and turning down your volume as you listen. Sorry about that. We do the best we can.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Welcome, basketball fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report, Frankton Sectional Semifinal Report. Tipton has just moved on. Tipton has just moved on with a 59-54 win over Sheridan. Very good game. I'm joined by Elwood head coach and athletic director Ryan Vanskyock. Big win for Tipton, overcame a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, what a game.
I don't.
Yeah, what a game. When you think about it, big-time players make big-time shots. And Brady Carpenter with two big shots at the end of the game there to hold his team to a victory. So
these are the kinds of teams where the best player usually wins.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. People don't understand how lucky we are to watch a kid like that in our area. Just unbelievable talent. Me personally, being a coach, I thought number 5 for Tipton won them the game. Shut down their best player,
Sam
played
Quigley,
really great defense.
He was great.
Had a huge steal and a layup in the third to change momentum a little bit, and then just had all kinds of hustle points for us, but we call them, and I felt like he was the game changer for Tipton.
And then in the fourth quarter, Brady Carpenter wasn't going to let him lose.
No, I mean, when you need a shot, you give the ball to your best player, and it's unbelievable. I felt like the dagger in the heart was when he hit the pull-up 3 from the volleyball line with about a minute 30 left.
Yeah.
That was definitely the dagger in Sheridan's heart.
So Devin Hamilton for Sheridan made a 3-point play with 3:15 to go. That put Sheridan up 51-50. It looked like maybe an upset was in the making, and then, like you said, Carpenter pulls up from about just from the volleyball line, like you said, exactly. Nothing but net. Tipton never trailed again, and it was pretty. Sam Aller then hit a free throw, and then Carpenter got to the line, made 2 free throws with 48.9 seconds left. Sheridan still didn't go away. Caleb Wright, their star player, hit a 3 with 38 seconds left, and then Sheridan got the ball back and then threw it away. And Landon Spidell made a layup with 17 seconds left and put it away. And Tipton will be playing either Frankton or Lapel.
Yeah, I thought for the most part, Sheridan probably outplayed Tipton most of the game. I felt like when they had a big lead in the first half, they should have slowed down the momentum a little bit, got a few better shots.
A lot of hurried
time.
shots.
I know they shoot the ball really well, but when you got Tipton down 9 points, I mean, that's the time to put a really good team away is early. And I felt like they did rush some shots. And at the end, when you let a good team, a team that understands winning, be around the game, you see what happens. The good team wins. So
That's right. Michelle Garmon will be along with stats before long. Coach, coming up, we got Lapel and Frankton. The game's going to be over by the time anybody hears this, but it sure looks like to me that Lapel is the best team in the sectional. Again, Tipton probably has the best players, so you got to like their chances as well. And then Frankton has won 12 games in a row, been playing very well. So it's going to be an interesting final 2 games.
Yeah, Coach Cherry does a really good job with Lapel. I mean, they're outstanding. The Judge boys, I mean, everybody knows what they are. 2 unbelievable, talented kids that play the game the right way. And then they have some really good pieces around them. For Frankton, I think the key is going to be to control the tempo. They got to keep the game in probably the low 40s, have the best chance to win.
Like Tipton just did with Sheridan.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, it's definitely played to Tipton's pace.
Yeah, control the tempo. Frankton and Tipton remind me of kind of about the same team. They want to control the pace, play really smart. If they have to run 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, they'll run it off the clock because that's the type of game they want to win.
And they've also got that point guard who's capable of controlling the game, controlling the pace, as well as Tipton does.
Yeah, and it's going to be a dogfight, I think. I was at Frankton's practice yesterday. They have a lot of good things that they're going to work on to try to win this game, and we're going to see if those things come to case. I know one of the biggest things is they're worried about the Judge post guy. They're not going to really have backside help, so their whole goal in that is to try to push him to the baseline where they can't throw over the top. So going to be really key.
Oh, yep, okay. Joining us now is Tipton head coach Cliff Hawkins, and Coach made enough plays down the stretch to get a win.
Yeah, I thought our guys really maintained their composure when they started to double us. We got the ball in enough of the right spots to survive not turning it over. And of course, Grady really took over the game and did a fantastic job.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you. How nice is it to have a player like Grady in games like this that you can trust to run your offense and run the floor to maybe you don't have to take as many timeouts or whatever?
I've talked to our coaches, if they ever want to be head coaches, I always feel like if you can get a point guard for 4 years, and I mean that, you start with them and you go through the mistakes. And I've had about I think about 6 times. And it really helps because they take care of so much out there on the floor that you can't take care of from the bench. And that is what he did tonight. And I just thought all of our players, though, stepped up with a certain amount of confidence. I thought Peyton Aller getting those 3 fouls early, I thought he played a great second half, just determined and didn't let that get into his mind. And I thought we were mentally strong going down the stretch.
And how about the play of Sam defensively, and then that big steal and the layup, and then just a lot of what he does every game, hustle plays.
Every team needs a player like that.
Every team needs a player like Sam Quigley. But Sam Quigley, I've never heard a player get told more by another player that he is a senior. Let's get it done. And Grady is constantly reminding Sam that he's in the senior class. He's, and I thought Sam stepped up and did a wonderful job.
And even like Landon down the stretch, big basket down here. But he's already had a couple game winning basket and a free throw for you this season. So it's like, he can. Spidell's like one of those kids that just hangs around and is always seems to be ready.
Yeah, and he won the game at Northwestern for us, and like we told him in the last huddle, if they continue to double or triple, Grady may look beyond, and it ended up being Sam, I think, that looked beyond. But I said look beyond because they may not have anybody by the basket with Landon, and sure enough, it worked out. And that was huge because then we thought we could win the game. I think right then.
Yeah, and then also I thought your 2 sophomores, Quinn Smith and Grayson McFalls, especially with Aller on the bench, I thought they didn't play like this was a section.
Quinn hit 2 big shots in that, I think, second quarter or first quarter. I'm not sure which one it was, but he hit 2 really big shots, and that really helped. And then I thought Grayson did a lot of great things as we went through the evening. Back to the interview.
Coach, I thought a difference maker in the first half. You guys struggled a little bit. Sheridan got up to a big lead, but for like a coaching perspective, how big was the offensive rebounding? I thought in the first half you got some big offensive rebounds, some putbacks, a wide open 3 off of it. It felt like that kept you in the game the first half.
No question, and that is something we talk a lot about with this team. we don't feel like we're outstanding shooters from the outside. Now, we'll get on a roll and we'll hit a few, but we felt offensive rebounding has been, there's 5 goals we have in a game, and one of those is our offensive rebounding, and we go over that every game. Like tomorrow morning, that's the first thing we'll talk about.
I thought it was a difference in the game. I kept you in the game in the first half.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that, because again, we weren't shooting real well. We were having trouble, and the rebounds helped us.
Coach, it seems like every game you play is a close one.
Yeah, we're not a team that is going to blitz anybody, but I do think we do play with sustained effort, and I think that's a credit to our practice sessions, because we may not be going real long right now in practice, but we're going awful strong. We're awful strong, and when you go short and strong, you'll have kids that continue the sustained effort, and I thought we showed that tonight.
Just from a coaching perspective and outside perspective, I think that's why Coach Hawkins is one of the best to ever do it. You think of champions and people who win, they win close games. And every time you watch Coach Hawkins' team, Tipton team, you can see it. Sheridan towards the end of the game got a little nervous, took some ill-advised shots. Coach Hawkins' teams just plays how he teaches them. It's taught them the whole time. Man. So credit goes to Coach Hawkins. I hope Tipton realizes how lucky they are to have a coach like him.
Well, you're very kind to say that, and I also think Elwood's very lucky to have somebody like you, because you're willing to help them get better. And I think that's what those of us that kind of come from a different mentality, that's what we do. We just work to make our teams better every day. We don't really talk about a lot of things people think we talk about. We really talk about performance and how we can improve. And I thought tonight the key was sustaining the determination. They did.
Speaking of performance, you're going to have to play. You're going to have to beat a really good team to win a sectional tomorrow night. Your thoughts on Frankton and Lapel?
Well, first of all, 2 very well coached teams. This sectional is loaded with very. I think Frankton, they have some great advantages being on their home court tonight. But Lapel, they've had a wonderful season, and they beat them, I think, by 12 early in the year. I know that means nothing right now, but Lapel's really got a strong group. But I wouldn't bet against Frankton just because Coach Brobston is still one of the best.
Thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate your time as always, and we will see you tomorrow night.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
While we had a little technical difficulty and I was changing our method of recording here, I hope this works out as well as the other. You and Michelle were talking about the Tipton program and how great it has been. And for so long, Michelle, Tipton has been so good at basketball.
I mean, you can go back when you talk about players like Brady Carpenter. I mean, Tipton had 2 of them back in the '60s, and Dick McIntosh and Donnie Kernett, and they had Darrell Elston in the '70s, and they had a guy by the name of Jay Rich. And when I was in school,
A guy named Matt Waddell while I was in school.
Yeah, a guy named Matt Waddell. I've skipped through Cree Smith in there, and then you had Derek Elston, and that team was special. I mean, and then Mikey Crawford, and and then Brady Carpenter. I mean, players that they were like, give me the ball in crunch time, and I want to go make the plays. And I mean, you could see it great. I mean, great, and it's great because it's great to have a teammate like Sam Quigley, who's a senior, that doesn't mind me coming over and telling you, screaming at you, get me the ball.
Yeah, you're right about Tipton. Man, when I was at Jay County was the Elston years when I was coaching there, and we upset them one year. They were #1 in the state. And you're like, man, where did I get all this talent in a 2A program? So
Small community.
What I love about Tipton is they love their athletics. They love their sports. They love basketball. It's a basketball community, a basketball town. I mean, you see it all those little kids, man, have a basketball in their hands, growing up with it, playing together. That's why they're so successful. They start at a young age, they work together, and when they get up to high school, you can see what it does. So Tipton is a special place for basketball.
Frankton and Lapel too.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about this area is just a bunch of schools that love basketball. Being a basketball guy is like, man, this is like blue blood of basketball around this area. So it's outstanding to watch. Even though I'm an Elwood person, man, I love watching these kids and their surrounding communities do great things. So it's awesome to see.
Absolutely. So Wapahani beat Blackford 63-54. We just saw that. First of all, before we talk about anything else, what about this atmosphere
Awesome.
in this location?
Yeah, me and when we went to the sectional to have the sectional meeting where to have the draws last year, me and Brent were really pushing for this because at the end of the day, it's not about money, it's not about administrators, it's not about anything else. It's about the kids having a fun environment to play the game of basketball. And Frankton's never hosted, but what a cool gym. Everybody's right on top of the court. I mean, what else could you want as a player? I mean, those two teams of Sheridan and Tipton had to be looking around like, man, from top to bottom, the whole arena's full. So just really awesome to see in a great environment.
We are joined now by Tipton stars Brady Carpenter and Sam Quigley. Survive and advance seems like every game you guys play is close one.
Man, that was a lot of fun. It was a close one. It was a battle, but Sam said it at halftime. We've been in that situation so many times this year. We played a ton of close games. So, we were composed the whole time and knew, we were never out of it. And it was going to have to take a full 32 minutes to win the game.
Great. Tell me, what went through your mind? I mean, those big threes, I mean, you just rose up. Was it just a feeling that I got to take it right now, or you just felt it?
It's just, I work on that kind of stuff, I'm confident in my game. I spend a lot of time in the gym working on my game. So, my coaches and my teammates trust me to take big shots like that. So when I feel like I have just enough space, I'm going to take it.
Brady, what could you say about Sam? I thought Sam was a difference maker from a coaching perspective. I mean, he had a steal and layup when you guys were struggling to score a little bit. He had the huge charge. I mean, what can you say about your teammate and what he brought tonight?
Yeah, obviously he's our second leading scorer, but he does so many little things for this team that impact winning at a very high level. Like you said, that charge was huge. We talked going into the fourth quarter about, getting a charge would be huge for us. I mean, we don't win that game without him. He made a lot of little plays that impacted winning.
Plus, he's got pretty hair.
Appreciate that.
One more question real quick right here, and I'll go to you, Sam, for a minute. How nice is it for you to know that you have Sam with you and even Landon to some point, because they've been there and they've also been in the big moments and big games for the 3 years, because you have so many young other pieces that they're nice. You have two guys you can rely on.
The three of us have talked like we have to rely on each other heavy, and we're going to do that, especially down the stretch. We know when things aren't going well, we got to keep the young guys composed and understand that we're okay. And I think we do a great job of that. Me and Sam are talking almost every dead ball about what we need to get done.
One more real quick. Lapel was sitting up here, and you picked up your third foul, and they said, sorry, wrong way. The Lapel guys were sitting back here, and when you picked up your third foul, there at the end, they go, ooh, three, and they go, I'm kind of surprised he did that. And I looked at him, and I said, you know how many times I've seen this kid play a whole fourth quarter with 4 fouls?
I know. I got a couple of them, but, I knew I had to play smart, and I wasn't going to do anything stupid.
You're looking to go 4 for 4, guys.
That's the goal. We got to finish one more tomorrow night. 32 more minutes.
Sam, your defense was huge. I know Coach Vanskyock was really impressed, especially with the job you did on Sheridan's score and everything. What was your mentality or your approach tonight on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, Peyton, one of our better on-ball defenders, obviously had
A little further away from him. Okay.
had 3 quick ones in the first quarter, and that kind of set things back defensively. So that I was switched around. The game plan was for me to start on page 14, their shooter. So then when he kind of got back to rhythm that second half when we were able to make our run, I was just right on him. I don't know if he did get a 3 in the second half, but other than that, I was right up him.
And that charge, did you know were you just sitting there hoping that he was just going to drive at you and then give you that little elbow?
Oh, yeah. Well, to break it down for you, I kind of got a hand on a ball. I could feel the agitation. He was kind of backing me down from the top. And at the point we were at the block, the ref has seen the contact by then, and then from there it's cake.
Could you guys talk a little bit about Coach Hawkins? So you guys have both talked about composure and keeping it. Watching you guys for the last 3 years I've been at Elwood, one thing I love about Coach Hawkins is he always has that composure. You guys got down early today. He's just cheering you guys on, telling you guys you're all right. Can you just talk about him a little bit and what he means to you guys?
Like the composure starts with him. He's never going to get too high and he's never going to get too low. He's going to stay calm and he's going to believe and trust in us no matter what's going on. And I think that's big for us, especially the young guys, because they know that their coach believes in them, and we're just going to stay the course.
How much fun have you enjoyed? How much have you enjoyed playing for Coach Hawkins and his style?
Oh, it's amazing. There's no one who trusts his players more than Coach. I mean, he says it a lot in practice. Like, you can have all the set plays in the world, but that doesn't teach your kids how to play. And he just lets us play free. He trusts us and our skills, and he trusts us to trust each other.
Thank you guys so much, and thanks for your time. Good luck tomorrow, and go get it. All right, Michelle, we've talked to Tipton head coach Cliff Hawkins and stars Brady Carpenter and Sam Quigley. Now let's go over some stats for Tipton and Sheridan.
I'll try. I'm not sure going to be right now how accurate they are because I have not really.
These are unofficial, everybody.
Right, and I haven't really totaled all of them yet, but I know that Brady Carpenter for Tipton finished with a double-double of 29 points, and I had 10 rebounds, maybe another one once I double-check my things, 4 assists, a block shot, just great night for Grady.
Did everything.
Sam Quigley, he had 8 points and 3 rebounds, or 4 rebounds. He had a couple assists. He also had a big block shot in the first quarter. But probably Sam's biggest play of the game was the charge he took down there late in that fourth quarter. Then I think Peyton Aller also came in and ended up with 8 points. And that's pretty good considering he set basically
a
full quarter because he picked up 3 early fouls. Quinn Smith, the sophomore, has 6 points on 2 big first half threes. Landon Spidell, 4 points. Grayson McFalls had 2 points and 5 rebounds. Noah Hummerhouse had a big basket down there too for Tipton when foul trouble.
Nice move by Brady Carmack. Tipton leads Lapel 13-12 early in the second quarter. In the second semifinal, as we go through these stats, Michelle's keeping stats, so she has to pause for a little while. All right, what do you have for Sheridan?
Okay, for Sheridan, I'm gonna just do the points. I took pictures of Bill White does a great book, so I'm just gonna go to his pictures for the point totals for Sheridan right now, and that way I don't have to add through there. So just give me just a second here, and I'll have them. Just a second.
All right, Michelle, and for Sheridan?
Sheridan was led in scoring tonight by Damon Winston with 13 points. It was a very balanced attack for Sheridan.
He's a nice player.
Yeah. With 12 points apiece were Caleb Wright and Devin Hamilton. I thought it was Devin. I wanted to double check that.
Yeah, Caleb had a big three-pointer that got Sheridan, gave them a chance late in the game.
Yes.
Great career, 1,000-point scorer, all-time leader in assistance program history. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he played a really nice game for Sheridan tonight. So did Winston and Hamilton. And with 11 points, giving them 4 players in double figures, was Trey Page. Trey hit 2 huge threes in the first quarter that helped Sheridan get to that 18-8 lead. And Coach Hawkins took a timeout for Tipton at that point, and from that point on, it was like that timeout was nice. It gave Tipton a deep breath, and it was just enough of a pause that Sheridan started to cool off some on their shots. They regrouped, and but what a heck of a ball game. I mean, Ray, we had talked about this before. I know I didn't get to do the sectional preview because I had some personal things going on, but I met last night. Yep. But I would have said that, and we talked about this before, I expected this to be I expected a great games every night, and especially Friday and Saturday night. It's a great sectional. 5 of the 6 teams with winning records, 5 of the 6 teams with 15 or more wins. Right. That's impressive. And then you have
16 now.
Yes. Now you have 6, and you have 6 good coaches. You have a Hall of Famer in Cliff Hawkins at Tipton. Brent Brobston is headed for.
Vanskyock's no good though. He wasn't even listening.
I'll tell you what. I would love, and I don't want Elwood to take this wrong, but I would love to see what Ryan would do with a team that's got a point guard like Brady Carpenter, or even a point guard like Joey Wright.
Or a team full of skilled players like Sheridan had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that because he is outstanding coach, and he's got a great system.
This guy?
That guy. And you know what? He could really be. Someday he'd have a great career in podcasting if he wants.
That's right.
Hey, he's got a great voice. He's got great knowledge. It's just,
Why do you think I asked him to come do this?
I will say this: Greg and I we've had great jobs. When you're sports editors or sports journalists, but you love sports as much as Greg and I do, I've always found that I learn so much from coaches, and I love it when I have the opportunity to be around great coaches, because you learn, and your knowledge is so great. And I just hate it today. Kids are so wrapped up in playing so many travel games and AAU games that they don't really sit and listen so much or get that one-on-one skill. Or when they go to ball games, they don't sit in the stands and watch. And basketball knowledge, you can learn so much by just watching, because especially when a team has a good coach on the sideline, their kids are going to do fundamentally correct things.
Yeah, that's so Coach Brobston had me come and talk to the Frankton kids last night after their practice, and for me that was one of the things of like, you need to treat yourself like a sponge. You have outstanding coaches with a lot of experience, and everything they say you got to soak it up, learn from it. Because not only is it going to help you on basketball floor, but it's going to help you in life as well. So if I could give any advice to a young coach or young kids, is to learn every day. You have some of these people who are very arrogant and think they know it all, especially young coaches. When you can learn every single day and just grasp on from people and learn from people, you're going to be very successful in life. Those are the successful people I've been around, are the ones that's willing to continue to keep learning every single day.
Well, Coach Mike Toll used to. I remember when I started out, one of his things was I was congratulating him on wins and successes, and he says, a head coach is only as great as his staff is good.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, Frankton, they're successful because of the staff. Tipton, they're successful because of their staff. I mean, you just see it. They treat each other like family.
You built a nice one.
And when you have people that support you and rally behind you, and because we live in a world today, it's easy to go criticize somebody behind the back of like, oh, if I was a head coach, I would do this, this, and this. So, I mean, you see it on these successful programs is there's buy-in from coaches, players throughout, and that's why they're successful.
Frankton leads 21-16 at halftime, really controlled the pace and played great defense in the first half.
Yeah, Coach Brobston really talked about that yesterday. They wanted to stay in the gaps, don't give up the drive. I felt like Lapel has really killed Frankton on catching it on the wing and rip driving baseline. I think for them to be successful and have a chance to win, they need to do more of it, because the first half they had 8 or 10 points of catching on the wing, rip driving, getting the whole layup. So if I was Lapel, that would be something I'd really want to focus on coming out in the third quarter.
All right, we'll see what happens. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you so much, Ryan. We'll be back. You'll hardly even know that we were gone. And we are joined now by senior Brady Carmack and pretty soon by head coach Brent Brobston, who just walked away. He's a busy man. Coach Vanskyock knows a little about being the head coach and the AD. Brady, what's the emotion right now among the team?
Oh, it feels great, but we know that we can't keep our heads too high right now because we still got a really good opponent tomorrow, so we got to stay ready for them. This isn't the end, so yeah, really good. Really nice to beat Lapel. So, yeah.
Hey, Brady, what was I just thought that you guys were just seemed to be focused and maybe surprisingly maybe a little bit more physical than Lapel tonight. Do you think you kind of perhaps surprised the Bulldogs by your physicality?
Oh, yeah, I don't think they were really ready for us. After watching the Elwood game, we didn't come in too hot. And I feel like their heads were maybe a little too big coming into the game. And I feel like we all glued together in the locker room before the game. We were like, hey, this is a really big game. It's Lapel. We got to stick together and stay as a team. So, yeah.
Coach, I think 3 keys for you winning tonight, and maybe if we don't have time, but maybe to let you elaborate on them a little bit. Talk a little bit about your kids. Helping the helper today was key in my eyes on the defensive end. I don't know how many times a kid got beat off the dribble and then the next guy was there to stop the basketball. I felt like that was the key and how unselfish your kids really are, because no matter what, when they see one of their players get beat off the drive, they were there to get it stopped, on the shot, on the rebound. All shots were contested. I just thought they did a tremendous job tonight.
I agree with you 100%. I think it probably for us, the biggest thing was the pep talk we got yesterday from the Elwood coach at our practice. So I think that's what propelled us here today. We had Coach Vanskyock come and speak to the team, and look what happened. You're going to have to come every week now. He was kind of our guest appearance. But no, I would agree with you 100% because the effort was just outstanding. And we were taking, for us, faking and staying, and we were staying attached to everybody. And so when someone got beat off the drive, we did talk a little bit about yesterday faking and recovering back. But I think naturally we've just done that. And so we work on it, and we work on it in practice. And I'm not so sure necessarily that it was going to be what we would do tonight, but we just instinctively did it. And when you do that and you can test every shot and you really sprint out to everything, you're playing high-level defense, and then that's what the result ended up being.
Yeah, number 2 in my eyes, and this is from a coaching perspective, not a lot of people see it, but just talk about how unselfish your kids are, because I can count 5 times a kid was open, it was a good shot, and they made the extra pass. 2 of them was threes by this guy right beside you. You scored on all 5 of those of just making an extra pass and a shot, and to me, those are big keys and big momentum changers in games because everybody knows, as a coaching perspective, make an extra pass, your percentages go up, and I just thought your kids did a really great job of that tonight.
Yeah, I think that we did it really well. We made the extra pass well, and you got to do that. I mean, in order to win, you got to make sure you do that. And sorry. You just got to do it. You got to do it as a team, and you got to make sure that you make the extra pass. You got to be unselfish in order to win these type of games. But you are exactly right. We made passes when we needed to and found the next guy, which is huge because we had an open shot and found the next guy. They showed what we showed tonight was a high-level tournament team playing and really just the focus of it, being focused to make the right play. And you're right, the kids did that. And that resulted in some wide-open shots that really – was a big reason offensively that we played well.
Number 3, and again, we talked about this yesterday a little bit about dictating the tempo. We were talking maybe 24, 25 minutes. In my eyes, you cut the game from 32 down to 16 probably. Talk a little bit about Carmack and Joey and what it means to have great guards because I could see them out on the floor being leaders. Kids were getting a little sped up. They were slowing them down. They weren't rushing anything. They were running time off, running offense. I mean, just talk about how special it is to have 2 great guards like that to be able to control tempo to win games like this.
Absolutely. Both of those are special kids, and Carmack's effort every night's just outstanding.
Hey, that's you.
he's a competitor, man. He's been that way since I met him when he was 12 years old. It's what I always loved about him. And he can get over the top sometimes. But tonight he was focused in and reeled in himself. But I'll never pull that back from him because he's got more heart than anybody you'll ever be around in terms of wanting to win games. He never wants to lose. And you saw that he was relentless tonight. But tonight he was a really good leader. Like I just saw him calming people down on the bench, talking to people on the bench, doing things that you do to win championships. Tonight he elevated to that level. And I thought he was instrumental in talking to Trey defensively about some stuff at a timeout. And I thought that was huge. He showed huge leadership. And then Joey Wright has been tremendous all season with the same thing. And he's been the floor leader for that, for this group in really the last 3 years. So both of them tonight showed what seniors do in a big game.
They really tried to get the ball out of Joey's hands, and he made him pay.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I think that he found the open person, and if he didn't, we made free throws.
Brady, talk a little bit about Trey and what he brought in the second half there. He just was not going to be denied.
Yeah, first I want to shout out Ryan Vanskyock, Elwood's coach, for coming out to our practice. I feel like with him there, it made us focus a little bit better with somebody else there, and we wanted to show him how we practice and stuff like that. But yeah, Trey's a tough boy, and I feel like he was just too much for some teams because he's just so big, and he's only a sophomore. But yeah, he has a lot of heart and stuff. So yeah, it's hard for many people to keep up with him.
And what do you remember most about Tipton the first time?
I'd say I know we went off to a little run to start the game. I want to say it was 10-0. Then I feel like we cooled down a little bit and maybe didn't lock in as much. If we just focus in, and they got Brady Carpenter. If we try to contain him, but if we just contain him, he's to slow him down, then yeah, I feel like we'll be good.
Thanks so much, Brady. Appreciate your time. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
You can go anywhere you want tonight, Frankton. Maybe you're like the mayor hitting those 2 threes. So.
Hey, Brent.
I wanted to ask about Tipton. Sorry, go ahead.
Brent, that's my question is now, obviously, 2 great games. The game before, kind of like an unbelievable night for Brady Carpenter. What do you guys do tomorrow? What do you guys do to kind of contain him? I know you probably feel like you can't put everybody on him because Tipton also has some other kids that around, but what do you do?
And going Elwood, Lapel, Tipton would be one heck of a run.
Yeah, I mean, Carpenter's just an excellent player. I mean, we've seen it all tournament. He's taken over both games he's been in. Outstanding young man. I was telling Coach Vanskyock before the game how much respect I have for the kid because he came by, told me good luck the night before. He's a class act kid. A Division I player, really, to be honest with you. And, he's just he's a tough load. We got a lot of work to do. We probably won't go home tonight because I don't know the right answer yet, and we've got to figure out a lot of different things. It's a staff that you got a Hall of Fame coach, and you've got great guys around him that mirror our program very similar. So we got a lot of work to do to figure it out.
How do you treat tomorrow, trying to prepare for a sectional championship? Have the kids come in earlier, a little later? What's your process tomorrow going through that?
So tonight, stay late, a little later tonight, rehabilitate. So right now we're getting ready to do the ice bath. We'll spend 12 minutes in there. Then it's going to be into stretching tonight, and then it's going to be into some biofreeze, different things that we're going to do, massage, chair. They're going to be here for probably an hour tonight, just working on getting their bodies back for tomorrow. And then we'll come in here tomorrow, probably mid-after. It's going to be like a noon to 1 time when we get here and start working on an hour and a half to 2 hour practice and getting ready for tomorrow night.
What does it mean as a coach? Because I've never coached on my home floor heading into the sectional championship. What's that going to mean for you tomorrow? First time ever hosting a sectional, and your team gets to play in the sectional championship tomorrow night.
It's awesome. I mean, it's what you talked about yesterday. Like, this is our court, and protect your house and cut down the nets at the end of the week, and that's what we're trying to do. And it's not an easy path. I mean, you guys gave us fits on Tuesday night, and then we have to turn around and beat Lapel tonight, and we got to turn around and try to beat Tipton tomorrow. So, yeah. But hey, you can't complain. We're at home and we're hosting it, and we've got the opportunity in front of us, and we'll have our fans here, and so will Tipton, and it should be a great atmosphere for us to have a chance to win.
But I hope Frankton people realize how special you are. Not only the basketball program,
I think
but
they're
the
starting to get
community. Man, what you do is amazing. It's just awesome to watch you coach and awesome to watch your kids. And you're definitely a blessing to this community and other communities around us. Just from outside perspective, just want to say you do an awesome job, and it's
Amazing job tonight.
You know, I feel the same about you. So I've talked about that and what you're doing at Elwood and the things you're
Way
creating.
too
and the
much
positive.
love, man.
So it's
God.
the same way. We feel the same way about you. But
Oh.
no, I'm
Can
glad.
you say something bad about Tipton, please?
I'm glad I've connected my friendship with you because I think we're very similar in our approaches of hard work and late nights. No, I will not say nothing bad about it.
Thank you so much, Coach Brobston.
Thank
Again,
you.
congratulations. Amazing job tonight by you and your players. And
Thanks.
always love watching your team.
Thank you.
All right, our final segment here. Just want to go over some stats for the Lapel game. Again, it was Frankton 61, number 9 Lapel 49. Frankton has now won 13 games in a row after a 4-8 start to the season. Brady Carmack had 27 points and 8 rebounds. Joey Wright, 14 points and 3 assists. Trey Bennett was huge, especially in the second half, 13 points and 12 rebounds. Ethan Stansberry had 7 points, including maybe the shot of the night, and had 4 assists. And for Lapel, their 12-game winning streak comes to an end, as does their season. Bodie Judge finished with 18 points, Brody Judge 14 in their final games as Bulldogs. Devin Craig finished with 8. And Tipton defeated Frankton 59-50 on December 7th. But it doesn't seem like that matters right now. The Frankton Eagles are rolling. Thank you, Michelle, for joining me tonight. Thank you to Coach Vanskyock, of course, to Coach Hawkins, Brady Carpenter, Sam Quigley. We had a bunch tonight, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Kevin Cherry, very nice of him to come up, even though it was clearly a disappointing night for him. And then, of course, to Brady Carmack and Brent Brobston. I hope I didn't miss anyone, but there was a whole bunch. Thank you to all of you. And thank you all for listening. If you are interested in seeing us thrive, continue to thrive and grow, please share this with your friends and family. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media.
And Greg loves Susie.